Over the past decade, I have personally been involved with hundreds of millions of dollars in agency sales, 79 million in revenue just last year, and I've watched countless hours of agency sales calls. I have noticed a pattern that there are three basic things that the most successful agencies do and others just don't. In other words, there are three sales secrets that can often make the difference between a booming agency or an empty bank account. In this video, I'm going to teach you what are the three secrets and why you need to know them, how you can apply them to your agency, and at the end, I'm going to walk you through how exactly an agency went from $14,000 loss per month to $1.5 million in profit in just 12 months, making these changes. To bring this to life for you, I wanted you to imagine walking into a store to buy a new television. And as soon as you get there, the salesperson ultimately just kind of like pounces on you, right? They're ready to start telling you about this new UHD television that's 90 inches and the surround sound and all the, 7D or whatever's going on. Probably at this point, I would tell them, if you want me to buy anything, stop talking to me because you're not going to sell me this way, so leave me alone. But if it were an earlier version of myself, I would probably just, I'm just looking, I'm not buying anything today. And it would probably create a situation where I may not even end up buying anything when I went in there specifically to buy something. This happens far too frequently in sales conversations. Someone wants to buy from you, and eventually what you do in a sales conversation is actually talk them out of buying from you. Here's the thing that I want you to be thinking about. You need to stop selling. The best way to sell is to not sell in the first place. When you try to sell, you create sales resistance. So what you should be doing is taking a more laid back approach, understanding a little bit more about where they are and providing them with advice. If you actually allow your prospective clients to understand the knowledge that you have here, the experience, all the things that you have seen and done, it allows for you to really be able to have a more impactful conversation. Your prospective clients do not have any experience really doing the thing that you do, because if they had the expertise, they would go and do it themselves. And so what they really need is to understand the things that they do not understand so that they can make a good decision. And is this the right option for them? Is this going to help them accomplish their goals? And what are those goals in the first place? If you don't understand what those goals are, it's impossible for you to be able to advise them. Start having a conversation so that you can have a conversation with them about what they are looking to accomplish. Stop trying to sell and be the advisor. You'll have more fun, you'll make more sales, and you'll enjoy the conversations that you're having, which are necessary to grow your business. But this is all easier said than done. So what concrete steps can you take to actually position yourself as an advisor instead of a salesperson? One of the most famous sales scenes from The Wolf of Wall Street is the "Sell me this pen."
Sell me this pen.
It's a amazing pen. For professionals.
And in the film, he tells loads of salespeople in a seminar to sell him a pen. However, he's obviously not happy with their answers. So after the film came out, there's loads of people that are wanting to understand what actually is the right answer and how do you truly sell a pen? Ultimately, the thing that ends up happening is Jordan explains that on the spot like that, an inexperienced salesperson will start just word vomiting all over the place. And really, there's millions of different reasons why someone could want a pen. You can't sell to that person until you understand their why. You understand what their need is, you understand what they're looking to solve for. Are they an author? Are they an employee of an organization? It matters a whole lot. Whereas an experienced salesperson asks a question and then shut up because they need to understand more about the situation that you are in order to be able to make the sell in the first place. So before you can even go through this exercise in the first place, you have to understand what are the things that your agency solves for to begin with, and how does that relate to challenges that your ideal client is facing? Where are they? What's going on in their lives? Why are they going to buy your service and why are they not? So by the time you end up having a proposal conversation, you're able to just re-articulate to them all the reasons why they told you they need you. And you had to do this much of the work. They did most of it. You need to be speaking no more than 20 to 30% of the call. If you're speaking more than that, you fail. So how can you use this ultimately to be able to close more sales in your agency? For Secret 3, I want to talk you through an agency that I personally worked with. When I first met them and was going through their sales conversations, they were in this place where the passion that I saw with them live in a conversation where we were talking never came through in a sales conversation. Interestingly, one of the things that was said later on when actually talking about his agency to a group of other agency owners about his kind of pitch, if you will, the response to it is, how can I bottle that passion? Because if I can bottle that, sky's the limit. That they didn't realize that their passion, their excitement was a power to inspire other people. And realistically speaking, let's talk about where most people are when they are potentially going to engage with a new agency. They're in a place where they're not achieving their objectives. When you are passionate about what it is that you're doing, you create energy within the other person. And when they are energetic about it and they see more potential, they're more likely to buy. If you can directly create a connection between what it is that they want and what it is that you want, you have broken down barriers that a lot of people have in trusting someone else, recognizing that in order to make a sale, you have to let them know, are they capable of accomplishing their goals, and is it even possible? Are you capable of doing it? Have you done this exact thing before, or a variation of it? Can they trust you to actually do it? What is the risk associated with it? The amount of impact that I've been able to see in working with the specific agency that I was talking about to begin with was just epically phenomenal, because they now were able to sell dramatically higher prices, and it was 3 times the cost of where they were before and after in just a very short period of time, in less than like 60 days. Now we know the secrets, but how does this look in real life when it's ultimately applied to an agency? The agency that I'm thinking of here ultimately was in a place where they were losing $14,000 a month. The first thing that I ended up having a conversation with them was around their sales process. They largely had a reputation, so they had inbound leads, and they needed to just be able to sell at a different price point and stop losing money in the jobs that they were doing. They did not believe that the idea of having a sales conversation about how to sell better was going to be the right direction. Fortunately, they went along with me here, and in a very short period of time, they were able to get from a $14,000 of loss per month to $1.5 million worth of profit in under a year. Here's the reason why that happened. So ultimately, what we went about doing was installing exactly what we were talking about here. We were able to really bottle their passion, their excitement, tie it to objectives. We were able to change the script by which they actually were having with the clients and ultimately be able to position them as an advisor. They were able to back off in the way that they were having conversations and being able to play in the 80-20 rule, the 70-30 rule, and speaking a whole lot less and asking the right questions that led to their prospective buyers to buying differently. But the thing that ultimately changed here was that they were now able to increase their fee dramatically from where they were before. So now they're not only just bringing in the revenue, they're also able to bring in the profit, because every single dollar that they added above and beyond that was for the exact same level of work. The beauty of all of this is that for this example, right, it's not always about just sales. It's about the structure by which it's actually taking place, right? So they weren't bringing on more clients, which is what a lot of people think is their solution. It's based on volume. For them, it actually wasn't. So they were able to get to this place, really feel so much incredibly better because they adjusted the way that they engaged in sales. So recognizing the way that you sell, the way that you have this conversation has incredibly far-reaching impacts for your agency. So now we know how the top 1% of agencies sell. However, what if I told you that sales isn't the only reason that they make so much profit? It's actually something much more simple. So check out this video where I explain why the top 1% of agencies are so profitable.